If the people of Minnesota are nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize and they get it, I am like, that is great. That is great.
That would be pretty cool.
They have been
I
so
don't
brilliant.
think, as a Swedish person, I think everyone should stop caring about Nobel Prizes. All of them.
Sure.
Hedvig's opinion on this matter is not to be taken lightly. Hello and welcome to Because Language, a show about linguistics, the science of language. My name's Daniel Medgley. Let's meet the team. We have our good friend Hedvig Hurgard. How's it going, Hedvig?
We're friends? I'm not a co-host?
Okay, let me just tell you something. I had one generation of children which did the thing that it always does where you lose all your friends. And then I had a second generation of children which not only took out that next generation of friends, but also destroyed my ability to have... Hedvig doesn't understand what I'm talking about, but other parents will. And so now you're the closest thing to a friend that I've got, you and Ben. So, congratulations.
I am your friend. I just didn't know. When you said, it sounded like you meant, friend of the show. Hedvig is on for a special episode, and I was like,
Oh, that's not good. No,
Anyway,
friend of
that's
the
fine.
show.
That's fine.
I don't know.
A friend of the show. I am a friend of the show. I am very much a friend of the show.
Okay, good. And
Anyway, all right.
friend of the show. Just kidding. It's Kelly Wright.
Hello.
Honored
She
co-host and
hates
somebody
us.
that we're always happy to hang with. Hi,
Oh my
Kelly.
gosh, yeah. Happy to be back. I'm like, call me friend. Isn't that that's the best? I feel like that's the best thing you could call me.
Friend is good, isn't it?
Friend is good.
Friend is-
You're also as close as I get.
I think of you as a friend.
The Quakers got it right. Friends are cool.
Friends are cool, and I'm going to start using thee and thou to both of you.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I should mention that our other friend, Ben Ainsley, is not with us for this episode. He has a selfless act of service that he's performing in the service of a friend, somebody that is actually a friend to him, which,
Ooh.
he's got
Nice.
others. On this episode, we're getting up to speed for a whole new season of Because Language, but we're also taking another look backward at the words of the year 2025, this time from the perspective of the American Dialect Society's Word of the Year vote. And Kelly, you have a special role to play in this one, I know.
It was a fun year. I think the years that are the most fun are the ones where we have no idea what's going to happen. There's not a clear front runner. Like in the COVID years where it was like, well, it's probably going to be a COVID term. This time it was like fields open. So.
Did it feel that way? It felt kind of wide open, like there was no clear...
A little, there was a lot of spread, a lot of different types of words, meaning that my job, which is usually sometimes very easy, is like organizing nominees into just like apparent categories. So when it's all COVID related terms, you're like, here's a category of COVID related terms. Like that makes the job easier. When it's a lot of big spread, then I have to be like, it's a little puzzle. I get to be like, what's who's related, and I get to play related or not. I get to do a lot of things by myself in the spreadsheet.
You do, but the other thing is that has to happen really, really fast because the turnaround time between the noms and the actual vote is one evening, is one day.
Yeah, it is. It's not. It's like 4 days. It's 4 days,
It is?
but in that something like that because it closes New Year's Eve, and we usually meet like the 4th or the 5th or the 6th or the 7th or something like that. But I have to get my whole body to a place in those 4 days.
That's true.
I usually have to go to some exciting locale like New Orleans this year, right? And so it is about a day. It gets about a day.
Yep.
It gets a solid human work day's attention from me on right before the vote. It's, later in the year I get to play with it more.
How many nominees are coming in?
So It was a big year in both directions. Almost as many submissions. Like it was kind of tied for first place, 111, which the most we'd ever had was like 113. But we had way more Lexims nominated this year than ever. The previous highest total was like 330 something, and this year it was 965.
Wow.
Okay.
So people are filling out the form, which I appreciate.
Nice going, everybody.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, we'll have more to ask you about this. And I guess we have to mention that for the actual voting, tons of linguists, lexicographers, word lovers pile into a room and argue and joust and jostle and fight and have a great time. And at least that's how I remember it. And then the winners get selected.
Yeah, it was really nice. This year, the room was actually very big. It was like aircraft hangar big. It was huge. It was wild. It was like a maze of, those weird partitions that were like subdivided inside this big giant cavernous space. But it was actually quite
Wow.
nice because there was plenty of standing room. People definitely milled in, and we had some weird technical difficulties, so we had to do the hand raising
Oh, no.
counting as we
that's
did
fun.
before. It was fun because I'd never done it before, and I got to like run around through the audience. I had a great time.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank
I
you for
like
your
that.
service. Yeah, that's
Of
great.
course.
Now, just a note to all of our patrons, the merch drop for this year has been mailed. They are all winging their way to you, including one sticker inspired by Dr. Kelly Wright. It says, "In it for the words," because you said it, I liked it, I made the sticker.
I love the colors.
Cute.
And you are in it for the words.
Very much so. That's why I do it.
Cool. Thanks to all our patrons, free and paid. If you'd like to become a patron and support the show, there's an easy way to do it. Just head over to patreon.com/becauselangpod. You can decide your level. There's lots of fun goodies that you can get. Thanks to all of our patrons. All right. Now, as far as the American Dialect Society Word of the Year vote for 2025, you can see all the nominees and winners on the American Dialect Society website. We're going to have a link up in the show notes. That's on becauselanguage.com. So, Kelly, what was your feeling heading into this? Did you feel solid? Did you feel prepared? Were you ready for a stoush, for controversy? Or was it chill?
We always, I guess, have our backs up for political controversy because it has happened in some years, and there were a lot of political terms this year, but that didn't really happen. We spent a lot of time on 6-7.
How so? You mean because it was in two categories? It was the informal Word of the Year nominee, but it was
Yeah.
also a nominee for actual Word of the Year.
Word of
Is
the
that right?
year. Yeah, so it came up. We spent a good chunk of time on 6-7 in the nominating session and the live session. There were a couple different camps. We actually had two very young people, like middle schoolers who were there, two sisters who came up and were about the same age and expressed completely different opinions, which the audience
nice.
loved because the first one came out and she was like, "I don't like it." It was like a kid, and all these people had been coming up to the microphone being like, "Kids use this word and it's important, and we can't, just because we don't like it, we can't like shy away from it or
Mhm.
something," right? And then
Yeah.
like a little kid came up and she was like, "I hate it."
Oh, come on, kids. We're celebrating your language.
I
Take
know.
the
And then
W,
her
please.
sister was like right behind her, and she's like, "Yeah, I'm her sister and I love this word," and blah blah blah, and like all this stuff, and it like
Oh,
destroyed the room, So it is like a really
yeah.
convivial experience.
It's nice to see somebody younger than 13 who's not related to Ben Zimmer giving their input.
Yeah, his son was like, Blake Zimmer, student at Cornell. So it was
He's a
so
student
nice.
at Cornell now?
Mhm.
What?
Yeah, it's
I
his
remember
first
when he
semester
was.
in college, or his first year, academic year. I know.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, so
I
he's
All
don't
like
right.
know
crushing it.
who this is.
Ben
Okay, let's
Zimmer's
talk about
son,
who it is.
Blake Zimmer, is the WotY kid because he's been coming with
Should
Ben.
we should we start with Ben Zimmer?
Okay.
Maybe not
Well,
everyone. He's
Ben
been on the show
Zimmer
3
is
times.
is the chair of the ADS New Words Committee. He actually runs the Word of the Year vote. I just count the data. I'm so glad I'm not in charge. Ben's in charge.
Yeah. That.
Yeah. And so Ben does everything for us to get Word of the Year together. And yeah, prolific
And he has a
public
Nepo
writer. Check
WotY
him out.
kid.
And he has a kid who has been coming with him to Word of the Year for all of these years. And so he, once he got a little older, he started coming up to the microphone and expressing his opinion. So each year we're all very
Isn't that
invested
great?
in what the WotY kid has to say. And I do believe it was Jesse Greaser who dubbed him the WotY kid. So
Okay.
there's the whole lore.
Okay, it's time to dig into categories. Do you want to start at the top with Word of the Year? I think maybe that's a good place to start, and then we can dig into some of the subcutaneous levels.
Sure. Are you looking at the press release?
I am looking at my version of my copied and pasted version of the press release, yes.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, we can dig into categories.
Okay, so these were nominated on the spot and then voted on the spot. And here we go. Some of these are from other categories, so we might see them again. There was 6-7. Tell me about your feelings about 6-7.
I like it because it's supposed to be a container for nothing. And that's cool.
It's a wrapper.
It's a wrapper. And that's cool.
I also like it because it's like nonsense internet humor, and there's a lot of nonsense internet humor. It's been around for a long time, and before internet, there was nonsense humor elsewhere. I also like it because I like people having fun with numbers. Like SKCD said, like there's like 69 and 420 and 42, and like there are all these like fun numbers, and it's just fun when numbers are at play instead of letters. It's just
exactly.
Variation. Yeah.
Variation indeed.
I mentioned this on Half the Answer with Caitlin Green, but remember how we were talking about it, and I said this was the first time that Generation Alpha has become mimetic beings with their own sort of, and Hedvig, you said, wait a minute, don't we remember all the brain rot stuff like Skibbity Toilet and Riz? That's Alpha. And I thought about that, and I thought, I did kind of forget about that. But then I realized if you're an alpha, you could be 15 years old, but I've got a couple of little alphas, 9 years old and 7. And a 9-year-old kid is a very different thing from a 15-year-old kid. And the Skibbity Ohio Riz thing missed my girls, but they are just glomming onto 6-7. So I think we're seeing micro generations here. I think the concept of generation is really quite fluid, and it's just a different level.
I also just think that like there's a bigger difference between 12 and 13 than between 37 and 38.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just exponential like that all through life. And that happens to every generation.
Yep.
It's,
reheat nachos. Looking at your list, there were so many that were so different from the ones that we grabbed for our WotY.
We actually went through your list in our our dictionary meeting yesterday, and your top 10 is good. Your top 10 is very on what we were interested in, both like Elbows Up especially. Like we were surprised that Elbows Up didn't win the Canadian Word of the Year because this is one of the first years they did that on the national level. It ended up being maple washing. Right. You all may have talked about that, but Elbows Up is so good. And
similar,
anyway, it's, and so, and we love like an anthem, like a rallying cry.
Yeah.
So
well, thank the listeners because they're the ones who voted. They made the list what it is.
Well, it's a great list. It's a really good list. Yeah. Ours, we had, Reheat Nachos is a fun one. I'm glad that it actually made it through because there were a couple fun ones that didn't. I don't get to choose. I have my favorites, but it's chosen in the room. So like I was glad Reheat Nachos made it.
I don't think I know what Reheat Nachos means.
Okay.
It doesn't sound great.
It's not great. You know how like they keep remaking the same movies. Like there's been the new Superman was like, didn't they just do a new Superman?
Yeah.
There's been how many Supermans? That's reheated nachos. But then also it can be more insulting where it's like you redo something, but it's not as good. So I've seen, like, one of our examples we're putting in the dictionary is Sabrina Carpenter as Britney Spears reheated nachos, which is, like, not nice.
Oh,
That's not a nice
that's
thing to
so
say.
That's
And I
not
disrespectful.
don't know if I
nice.
would exactly compare them in that way personally. But
Yeah, if
that's
anything,
how
it's
people are using
Christina
it.
Aguilera. But
Hmm. But
besides
if you
that
just keep
point,
repeating yourself, oh my gosh, your show, you just keep saying the same things over and over
yeah,
again.
if
It's
you
like
just
reheated
like,
nachos.
Right, so to
yeah,
reheat someone's nachos, and also, like, reheated nachos are inferior, like, the idea is, like, you have nachos, but, like, you bring home leftover nachos and you do what with them? Like, there's no scenario where they end up as good
yeah.
as the original
Well,
Hmm.
beautiful, crispy
that is
nachos?
that is a little bit how I feel about covers in music. So I play
Oh, yeah.
music and sometimes with friends, and sometimes people want to do a cover of a famous song. And then we rehearse it a little bit, and then someone's like, "No, but we have to do it exactly like this because that's how they recorded on the CD." And I'm like, "Yeah, but we're not that band though, and we're never gonna produce that. So like, I think it's better if we like make it bossa nova instead and make it
Right,
different.
right.
Like you blend the nachos and like make a bread and fry
Do
it
something else,
because
yeah, now it's dip.
yeah,
Yeah,
because you're not gonna make the same thing. But there are some
right.
covers that are really good. Yeah,
I have a cover beef. My young ones were like, oh, we got to listen to this song, Royals by Walk
Lord.
Off the Earth.
Oh,
And I said, Walk
interesting.
Off the Earth? That's a Lord song. Is it the same
Yeah.
song? It was the same song. They're like, yeah, we played it at school. And then they have this other great song called Hello. I'm like, okay, just a darn minute. We are going to listen to the original version before we do whatever Walk Off the Earth is doing, okay? Because they're basically a cover band. They don't do, and they're fine. They're fine.
But do they do an interesting take on it?
No, they do
Oh,
not.
You're like, in my
then I'm a little
opinion,
bit like,
meh.
nah.
It's
Then
reheated
meh.
nachos.
Yeah.
So we are hearing
Yeah.
real nachos first, and then we can go on to the reheated version. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you for this. I think that needed some explanation. What's the next one for the big category that you want to do? What's another one that you have comments on?
You know, I
I'm
like
looking at
Amphifa,
things.
I like Amphifa. That was cute.
of course.
I never heard it until I saw it on your list.
Oh, it's the frogs.
It's Protest Frog. I was Protest Frog for Halloween. I didn't realize I was a member of
Amphifa.
Amphifa. Is it really being used?
I don't know.
I'm on Blue Sky. Don't lie to me.
I don't know. I don't
Well,
know. I don't know if it's actually being used.
I'm
Okay.
confused, by the way, in general, as a European, like Antifa exists in a lot of different places, and it exists in Germany and Sweden, etc. And it's actually like known for different things, and I'm a little bit confused by how it seems to be working in the US. Also the name
Mm-hmm.
anyway. But
I think
Antifa, Amphibians Against Fascism.
yeah.
We need to bring all the members of the animal kingdom in on this. We need that. Okay. I'm getting rage bait, which is one of my favorites. Bait was one of ours because we've seen,
Mhm.
rage bait and all kinds of other kinds of bait. But also, I said once on the Australian ABC, there's a lot to get angry about, and that's okay because there's some kinds of anger that we need. But rage bait is not really good for us. And please make sure that your level of anger is commensurate with what you can do about it, because helpless anger is a lot like depression.
Yeah, I think that's true. And also, it's just always worth reminding yourself that when you're in social media, one way that some people can make money, or a lot of people, is by engagement. And that engagement doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. So people are trying to make money of you. By commenting on a video, you're driving that video's engagement, and that if they are in like a partnership program or something, they can get money for it. There's another category here that is similar that I saw, which I was going to have as word of the week for an upcoming show. I don't know if I should mention it now or not.
Why not? We can bring it up again next time.
Vague posting,
Oh, good.
Ooh.
Good.
of which subtweeting is a category, arguably.
I'm so annoyed by vague posting.
Yeah, it's when you post something on a social media feed or something, or you could even use it about talking when you say something like very vague, like, "Oh, I hate it when did she really have to do that?" with like no context. And what happens then is that curious people respond and are like, who do you mean? What does she do? Who is she?
To the
Like,
comments,
blah, blah, blah.
folks.
And that is a similar way of milling engagement as rage baiting, because you're trying to provoke people into commenting on your video. However, it's more frustrating and annoying. It's not enraging.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
in that way, I kind of think it's better. It's better
Maybe.
than rage baiting, possibly.
And then there's some kinds of vagueness that are very useful. For example, I've seen 100 posts that go exactly like this. When it finally happens, it's going to be the most epic day. And everybody knows what we're talking about. Everybody knows.
No,
yes,
wait,
it is.
what is it?
Yes, it is.
No, I don't know it is.
It's exactly what you're thinking.
I listen to the QAnon Anonymous podcast. If you say that, I'm going to think you mean the storm, and I don't think you mean the storm.
No, I do not mean the storm. Kelly doesn't know what I'm talking about.
I'm not online
Eurovision
anymore.
And the reason why we don't say that is because that kind of thing can get you in trouble traditionally, but this is why people vague post it instead.
You guys are over worrying, I think.
No,
Kelly,
I don't know.
Am I over worrying?
I don't think so.
Thank you. Let's go on to. Should we go on to the? Is it time for the winner, or do we want to play around with some of the other ones? Maybe we better go through all of these. The algorithm,
Okay, good.
Right?
The algorithm, like Megan the Stallion or the Ohio State University. It is.
It is the algorithm.
Algorithm. Which I think is really cool, because this one I do see used a lot. And it is people talking about like it as one concept. Like the algorithm is everywhere. It could be like on your platform, it could be on your Google search, or like you've been talking to a friend and then you get an ad on your phone for some product or device or service, right? That people refer to that experience, like the experience of living with assistive technology is as interacting with the algorithm. So it's an entity.
An unknown black box that you've got to appeal to if you want your content to be seen, or just the way that it pushes stuff at us.
And so part of the question is, like, do people think of the algorithm as an actual physical entity when they refer to it, like that is stored somewhere and exists? Or do they refer to it like love or sincerity or honesty as this thing that is like this, superficial overlord?
Yeah. Well, part of the algorithm is like the exposure and engagement and the things we talked about just before, like rage baiting and vague posting, and the way that platforms want to keep you on the platforms. They want to have engaging content. But then, as a lot of like YouTubers will talk about, and also TikTok users, there seems to be little hand tweaks to the algorithm sometimes, where like in the early days of YouTube, there used to be YouTube Spotlight, where like employees, I think, at the YouTube offices would pick videos that they liked. And that's a very like hand cranked way of messing with the algorithm. And various content creators will sometimes say like, oh, last week, like these and these kinds of videos of mine were performing like this, and like this week they're not. So someone twisted a knob somewhere and they don't know why. And then they try and like adapt. But this also gets into a word that I think we've had in our list. I don't know if you had, Kelly, which is audience capture.
Oh, no, that's good.
Yeah. Which is when you tailor your content so much to your audience that you become captured by your audience. And if they want more rage bait, you might start making more rage bait, sort of sacrificing your content creator integrity to please whatever seems to please the algorithm gods and your audience. Which, just depressing.
Here's my hot take. This is my hot take about the algorithm. You know, when people say, I talked to my friend about skiing and now I'm getting skiing ads.
Yeah.
I think this happens all the time. And what I think is happening is just there are so many ads being sprayed out to so many people that it would be weird if you didn't talk about clam chowder and then get clam chowder ads. And maybe you were getting them before, but you didn't notice because it wasn't significant. I think it's just...
There's a confirmation bias about a Meinhof effect for sure. But then also, most of us are basic bitches. Like, you talked about skiing in Northern Europe in January. Oh, wow. You Other people did as well. Like,
Oh, really? Wow.
you're not that special, honey. Like,
No, man.
tone it down. Yeah.
I'm taking voracious notes over here off because this is so
Oh,
interesting.
really?
Yeah, I
What?
really love the idea of thinking about how this concept has, or whatever people are sensing, like when they are saying the algorithm did this, because we have tons of examples of it being used in this way. But my job is just to document the examples, done. But like the scientist and
Yeah.
analyst in me is like, what is happening? And it's so fascinating to think about how we have interacted with this concept differently throughout time, like as these technologies have been evolving. And I absolutely remember the YouTube spotlight thing of being like, it did feel
Yeah.
like that. It did feel like it was, equal parts program and programmer who were working to serve content each day when you're on the platform. And it maybe the programmer's presence is less detectable today, I feel.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. And yeah, and I love I love the idea of like vague posting being something that could be intentional or unintentional. Like some people
Yeah.
are just subtweeting. They're just like in a flow state, like reacting to what's happening and not thinking like, oh, I'm crafting content for an audience. But then
Yeah.
sometimes content can be crafted for an audience that is intentionally vague. It gets you a bunch of people paying attention, and then you get stuck in that wheel of what those handful of people that you've now captured their attention, that you get stuck in what they want and what the algorithm wants. So you're not creative anymore. Like even if you were creating something that was intended to gather people, now you don't even get to be commercially creative. You just get to be responsive, which is not as fun.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of people online might also be vague posting, like you said, unintentionally because they don't think about the fact that they made a public post. Right? Like you think of like some people might use Twitter and most of the time they only get engagement from like 10 people that they know. And they know what they mean when they vague post. And then one of them spreads outside of their circle and they're like, oh, well, I didn't talk to you anyway. So, but you did. You are shouting in the town square, Everyone is here.
True.
Everyone is
Let's
here.
see. There was Doge. I was in Japan recently and I saw an actual Shiba Inu and it was so cute. And I thought I feel gross.
Yes.
I feel bad now. It used to be whimsical and playful and now it just feels bad because it's Elon Musk canceling a program, USAID, for, among other things, stealing our data, whatever, but canceling a program that was keeping people alive. It amounted to a rounding error in the US budget, and it got canceled, and now hundreds of thousands, perhaps millions of people are going to die or are already dead. This is terrible.
It is
and
not
illegal.
the fault of the Shiba Inu you saw in Japan, though.
I know.
That bird, that dog.
That dog is blameless.
That dog is blameless.
I did not impute any ill will to the dog, but I did feel a bit of ick.
Really?
For that matter, just because of the word, Elon Musk is being hauled before Congress to testify to his role in Doge and in canceling USAID, which he didn't get to do that. That was illegal and unconstitutional. He didn't get to divert money that was congressionally appointed. But I'm yelling into the tube here.
We'll be documenting just the verb form that get doged. That's what we'll be putting a small entry in the dictionary for.
What happened to your research budget? Got doged.
Got doged. Right. And also Elon Musk ended up getting doged. So it kind of, we'll see what happens.
We did a story once on a young guy who was engaged in the Herculaneum Scrolls project. These burnt, blackened scrolls that were rolled up, and they scanned them 3D.
Oh yeah.
And this one guy, he was a SpaceX intern named Luke Ferrator. He figured out the first word. He found the word purple. He developed a technique to make the word stand out, and he noticed the word purple. And now everybody's found lots and lots of words on the Herculaneum scroll. Yeah, he was a Doge bro. He was a Doge bag, unfortunately. Really sad.
People can do something cool and then something bad.
That's
Yep.
true. And also, I would like,
Right?
they're doing a lot of really technically cool things with text. You know, like you said, like they stole all our data. Like, yeah, because they're feeding it into these actually really sick algorithms, which like I wish we were using for good. That's all. Like
Yeah.
I just see that some of their
Yep.
models are really doing cool stuff that is like stuff that we used to talk about when we would be like, it would be so great if you could X, like with like certain, like if we had like, I don't know, every recording of every phone call that it's been, this phone call may be recorded for quality assurance. If I could just have those recordings, I could do so much. I could do so much to
Right.
improve automatic speech recognition technologies and make them more
Mhm.
equitable and do X, Y, and Z. And that's like not what they're going to use it for.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
it's frustrating. It's professionally frustrating because
Be careful what
it
you wish
will
for.
take us like independently decades, maybe longer with no funding to develop that like a parallel technology to use for research for one thing, but then also altruistic purposes. And so now I'm screaming into the void, but it does become this thing of it's like, dang, like I wish that we just had like the access, ability, talent to have gotten there first or something. Like, I don't know. It's yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we don't. Like, there's a lot of really cool things that tech is built on that is built on a lot of open source nerds that are
Oh, sure,
nice,
sure. Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
yeah.
of things wouldn't be possible if, like, Linus Torvald didn't create Unix. And
Right.
I kind of think we sometimes don't give those kind of people enough
Enough
attention.
credit.
And also, one of the redeeming qualities about Elon Musk is that he wants to be seen as cool by people who are actually cool. So that might mean that he makes some things open sometimes, maybe.
That's
Right.
true.
So
One, and this was way back when I started following him. He opened all of Tesla's patents. All of Tesla's patents are still open for anybody who wants to use them to build good electric cars. He says, we won't come after you unless you like try to lock them down and shut everybody out. But there has been an openness historically. So, blah. Anyway, that was before he
Yeah.
became gross. Should we move on from Doge and get on to the winner? The winner
Yeah.
was Kelly.
Slop. Yeah.
yeah.
Slop.
Slop.
A brilliant choice. And
It's a
I
good one.
actually saw this one coming.
Oh, yeah?
It's good.
A couple other dictionaries also chose it, so it's not a huge surprise.
Yeah, yeah. But I liked seeing slop as kind of a combining form, like AI slop, but also what are some other examples?
Friend slop is one.
Friend slop?
What is friend slop?
It's like a genre of like game or show or something. So there's this post from the AV Club that says not every co-op game is friend slop. So I guess like friend slop is like, oh, there are things that are not competitive, like ways that we interact with each other that are not competitive, or like shows that like are just about friendship. And some of them are genuine shows, but some of them, again, like in this vague posting situations, like they move into content that is targeted for just like friendship as like a. I think that that's like the friend slop part of
All
it.
right.
Wait, is friend slop parasocial content?
No, I don't think so. Friend swap is like, because a lot of these posts are talking about like co-op gaming, like that there's a bunch of like board game, like things that you can physically buy in the store that are supposed to be for 3 to 4 players that are but are just like junky. Like there's a lot of them that are like mystery solving games where the 4 of you are supposed to sit down and solve a mystery, but the stuff that they give you is kind of basic AF.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the content is sloppy.
I know.
I think we'll get to see a lot more of slop as we go on, and maybe we'll value things that are individually created.
We documented the combining form last year. It did very well in the 2024 WotYs, and it's our winner, and we will be talking more about it because it's been incredibly productive in the last 12 months.
Yep.
Moving very fast.
AI slop was our
this
second
one.
place last year as well.
Yeah.
There's a new content type that's turning up on my TikTok feed that is short form drama videos in like ancient China or sometimes ancient Japan or Omegaverse. And it's all like terrible actors, terrible scripts, terrible line performance. And it's like 1 minute. And it looks like if it's like the comment underneath is often like, if not AI slop, why AI slop shaped? Because it is
Classic.
actual recordings. There's actual actors and lighting and costumes and, makeup and whatever else. It's just quite bad. And I have yet to understand the business model of these companies that are putting this out because, anyway, people like it. So I don't know what to call it, though. I haven't found a word. It's some sort of slop.
Let's just do a really quick run through of the other categories. Here we go. Most creative word of the year. The winner was reheat nachos. Do we have anything to say about any of the other ones? I'm noticing fridge cigarette, which is going to the fridge and getting a fridge cigarette, which is like a Diet Coke or some kind of drink, I suppose, for its addictive qualities.
I wish that had won. That was like my favorite for the whole year because it's so funny. And it had like really dedicated memes. It's a Diet Coke.
I never saw it. I
think it's so
But
funny.
okay, I'll be watching out for it. Informal word of the year 6-7 was the winner, but I noticed there were some that I just hadn't seen. Since you put this on the list, I have noticed smoke. Don't want no smoke.
You don't want no smoke. Don't want no smoke, I feel like, is the most common because people like look at, like someone not engaging in some sort of, and it's like, they don't want that smoke. Like there's either going to be a fight or someone was going to ask somebody out and they chickened out, or there's like another like clear leader in the category, like Beyonce or something. And be like, no one wants that smoke. Like no one is trying to come for the crown because you don't want that smoke. So,
do you have any intuition as to why the word smoke is employed here?
I think in some ways it's like drama, like if people are going to verbally fight before they physically fight, it kind of parallels like smoke before fire.
Got it. Okay, that's good. That's fair. That makes more sense. Okay, let's go on to political word of the year. The winner was icy conditions, which means...
Yeah, so icy conditions are like the ways in which folks have been signaling that ice is in a neighborhood. And what's interesting is that they're using like weather apps in some cases to like because you can like live update what you're seeing on your map to be like, there's ice outside, or there's ice in this neighborhood. There's ice on this street.
ICE, of course, which stands for
Immigration Customs Enforcement Officers. So it is the winter and it has been very icy, but we're getting icy conditions reported on weather apps in places where meteorologically it is not icy.
I guess that like incorrect usage of the weather app is at least the worst case is that people are more careful in driving.
Sure,
I guess.
Right. And if they were trying to drive through that street, they couldn't drive through it because uniformed officers are patrolling anyway. So,
did you hear that there's ICE officers at the Winter Olympics in Italy?
Oh, yes. I
what
did.
What are they doing? I did hear that. Yeah.
I am also confused. And the U.S. Olympic troop, I think, has officially said, like, it's none of our, like, reasons. One theory is that they're there to protect A.D. Vance. I thought he had bodyguards. I don't know why
he has the Secret Service.
I don't understand it.
I think the Secret Service does that.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. I've just been so impressed by the way that the people have come together. They've correctly interpreted the presence of ice as damage, and they're routing around it. They're finding ways around it, and largely staying very nonviolent. It's the people. It makes my heart feel good.
Yeah.
Even though it's a dreadful time. Okay. Any more things we want to talk about for political word of the year? We had, disappear, to disappear someone. God, what a dark timeline.
I know. But we had some folks who came up to the microphone and made really well-reasoned argument for us not to vote for this. And so I think that's part of the reason why maybe it didn't win the category. And it was a good argument in that the ways in which this disappear as a verb has been used in describing conflicts in South America, Central and South America, particularly. What is happening in the United States, they argued, has not risen to that level. And so folks are using this
Mm.
word, but it is not the ways in which it has been traditionally used and is currently used and is understood in like international law. And so they were like, we don't think that we should mark it as an interesting change or anything like that. And so I think that's why it didn't
Mhm.
win, because there was a really good linguistic
Okay.
argument at the microphone, which was nice to hear. Yeah, I love it when people
Yep.
come prepared. Thank you for bringing notes.
Not to mention the way that when someone is disappeared, it's passive voice, and it turns it in, instead of government agents made them disappear or kidnapped them or abducted them, it makes it seem sort of with a lack of agency, and that's not the right impression.
Oh, I thought it was like a transitive verb.
Yes, it's taking disappear and turning it into a transitive. Yes, it's true. But we do typically
Like,
say they were disappeared.
yeah, but you can also say they were disappeared by blah blah.
Yeah.
Which is not proper
Yeah.
transitive, but no.
Still passive voice, but I don't have a problem with passive voice, but I can see why you would want to actually say who's doing the thing. Huh.
Hmm.
Okay, let's go on to digital word of the year. The winner was slop, but I noticed Italian brain rot. That was hilarious.
Yeah, another Gen Alpha innovation, right? Italian brain rot.
Yep.
It's a little racist. And also complicated, but Italian brain rot is these ideas of like we were already saying like skibbity toilet and Ohio Riz munch your whatever, and this
Hmm.
ends up being like ballerina cappuccina and things like that, which but is like tied in the same way skibbity toilet is tied to like a video, like a viral video,
Mm.
like the ballerina cappuccina. So the thing is though, there was a really short distance between when this was like a real thing that young people were doing that was just fun on the internet and when that behavior got capitalized on to send them all sorts of nonsense to captivate that audience. And so if you
Hmm.
Google, like if you were a kid and you put your ballerina cappuccina in your iPad, you would get a video, but some of those videos end up being like not produced by the people who are originally doing them and go to fund all kinds of terrible things we've since found out. So it's like
Hmm.
this thing.
Hmm.
Oh, similar to
Yeah,
what's happening with AS Lab generally on YouTube, where it's a lot of
right.
like really questionable stuff. Yeah.
Great names, though.
The
Hmm.
great names, but it sucks because it's like it is like people like in the age range of like 6 to 13 that are
Hmm.
clicking on these things. And so that sucks.
And that's why we don't have YouTube on the kids' iPads. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's go on to most useful. The winner was That's AI. A expression of distrust when determining that something presented as real is in fact AI generated. Good one.
Yeah, nominated from the floor by Nicole Holiday, who I know is also a friend of the pod.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, she was like, I hear it all the time. People say it, and they
I do.
say it in reference to things that certainly aren't AI. Like when, like two people discussing like the behavior of a third individual, and someone being like, "That's AI." Like this person is
They didn't do that.
full of it.
That's dumb. Yeah.
Like it's dumb. It's not. Yeah, and so that's so interesting because that's spreading fast, but it's spreading fast in a different way than some of these other productive compounds we've talked about.
Notice also rot is breaking away. Like there's bed rotting, but also brain rot. So rot is
Hmm.
becoming its own thing. Very cool.
Just rot itself, yes.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Bed rot for sure.
And then the last category we've got is most likely to succeed. The winner was chopped from African American English, something ugly or undesirable. But there were others.
When we had chopped on our episode as a word of the week last year, I was looking up some of the origins and I found a video of someone explaining it, and that video was like, I don't know, like 10 plus years old.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
think it was a Toronto-based musician. Like it was like it chopped is not new.
It's old.
No.
It's old, but it is getting into that. Yeah, it's that thing that we see very often with especially American English, right? Of like words coming from either Afro-American English or gay community and then making it through. I was at a pub quiz recently, and one of the rounds was identify alpha slang. So it had like Ohio and stuff. And one of the words was slay. And I was like, well,
Not
That's
alpha
not
slang.
alpha slang, is it? But if that's where
It
you
is
heard it,
now.
then
Well, okay, so like there are levels to these things
Yes,
where
please.
Mhm.
appropriation, accommodation, appropriation, acquisition is like part of this first level because we have to, again, like we have to let the 7 to 13-year-olds encounter the language where they are. They can't help but be 7. So if they're saying slay a lot, then it is Gen Alpha language, even if they don't know. It's not an expectation that you understand the full etymology of every word you employ, right? So
yeah.
that's okay. But then this year, Valentine's Day, kitschy gifts in the United States, a lot of them have the word slay on it, and that's like
What?
like it's like a little teddy bear with a heart, and the heart says slay.
Nice.
So
Oh,
and I saw cards
okay.
with it on there and stuff like that. When you get to that level, that's like full on appropriation.
Mhm.
But wait,
Like when it goes corporate, when the word goes corporate, when it ends up on T-shirts and teddy
yeah,
bears
yeah, yeah.
and cups and pencils and yeah,
But wait, what? There's a thing I don't understand. First of all, I don't live in a country where Valentine's is like huge deal. I don't really understand the whole teddy bear thing. But I consume enough American media to like kind of get it. But I thought that if it was slaying like the imperative, it's a bit similar to like you go,
yeah,
like hooray for
exactly,
you.
exactly.
But why would you want to say like you go, girl, to your date on
But
Valentine's
maybe
Day?
you want to give a like it's Galentine's Day and you're meeting up with your girlfriends and celebrating friend
Oh
love.
shit! Right, sorry.
No, it's
I think of
I'm
Valentine's Day as
yeah,
like
no,
a romantic couple thing.
it's many things.
Okay, all right.
It's many
It
things,
is
I'm
as
worried.
many
including
things
like
as there are
kind of
people.
yeah, maybe the most like corporate trap holiday, I feel, of all the of all the holidays. I could be wrong.
I think when it comes to like Halloween and Valentine's Day, I think Europe is like at least like 10 years. Like for me, Halloween, like I prefer that it's scary. Like
I love
we
Halloween
had
and I
like a
want it
scary
to be
doll that's
scary.
scared of all guests,
Yeah.
and I had like weird contacts and like,
Yeah.
scary. But I
Yeah.
know that in America, you can also just like dress up as
Mhm.
Ariana Grande, and that's Halloween
There's Halloween and then there's gay Halloween,
somehow.
which was which was
Yeah.
also nominated gay Halloween.
Let's not forget slay, the interjection. Maybe you've been talking about that all along, but somebody sent me a message saying, "Oh, I'm not too late for the mail out, am I? Here's my address." And I'm like, "Yeah, you got it. It's going out to you." And they were like, "Slay,
Slay.
thank you," which means
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Cool. Good. Got it.
Cool.
Yeah.
So watch out for that.
So that one's fun. It
I like
is
that one.
changing. So that's like what's interesting about it is like, yeah, like words change through use, right? So whoever is using them is like reshaping them. And that's so neat.
It is neat. Tell me about performative mail. This is the one that was the newest to me. I was unprepared.
We have a wonderful entry for performative mail from Nancy Friedman that's coming into dictionary. She submitted it yesterday and it looks great. Performative mail, to me, when I read the description, to me, what I think is metrosexual, which I
Yeah.
know we don't use that term
Oh.
anymore, but it seems so similar to the ways in which the metrosexual was described back in the day.
Okay.
Is that back in the day now? I suppose so.
Like 2010-ish.
2010, 2009. Yeah. So the
Yeah.
metrosexual is like is a clean guy who's dressed well and enjoys hanging out in, like they're saying like coffee shops. Like this person like has a matcha, right? Performative male. But in some ways
Mhm.
performative male is like less positive. It has like a more negative sentiment, or it's used in certain ways. Like the way it was described at the microphone was that like women on dating apps will like see a guy, like as you're swiping, you'll see a man who's like, look at me with my matcha, like look at me in a nice pair of pants, like look at me out wearing a scarf, and be like performative male. Like he's trying
Like,
to be the opposite of the dude
God.
holding a fish or something in all of his pictures.
but
I
like,
listened to Sarah McLachlan.
I listen to Sarah McLachlan. I'm a feminist. Look, I'm at a protest. Like, yeah.
well, in defense of men, I don't know why I
Men.
started a
Yeah,
sentence
no,
like
no,
this.
it's
This is gonna
okay.
go badly.
Oh dear, bad start. Bad start.
I mean, dating apps are a place where you perform,
Sure.
That's true.
Yes.
right? So like, and I feel bad for the people who just like matcha and think they had a cute pic at the coffee shop. But that's, I know, I link this more to like something I've seen, which is like people who really go in for especially like progressive political things very quickly, very deeply. I am very suspicious of people who like go from like nothing to wearing like, for example, what are they called in English? Is it called kibbeh, like a Palestinian
Oh,
patterned
yeah.
scarf?
Mm-hmm. Kafia.
Like if someone goes from nothing to that and then a lot of other accoutrements in a very short space of time and get very vocal about it, they have a tendency to burn out within like a short amount of time and then go back to not doing that at all. But I thought metrosexual was also like the idea that they were like half signaling that they were gay. Was that
Yeah.
the case?
So
But they didn't mind a bit of grooming. That's all.
I
That's all.
think I think that's where it comes into like the slightly pejorative nature. So like I think that these terms, like originally like metrosexual was like something that's trying to describe like an alternative masculinity or something. And
Hmm.
then people hear the word and they attach it and use it like derogatorily towards people who are maybe like not straight appearing.
As a European, this is extra confusing because some of the
Oh
things that were
yeah.
associated with metrosexual is just like how a lot of European men just dress.
Like tight pants.
So
Like
like
wearing tight pants.
it just
Yeah.
like wear pants that like no, but just pants that fit at all
That's
is
hard for men. That's hard for American men. It's really hard for American men to wear pants that
yeah.
fit. It's very difficult.
Is that
I
because
feel
they're
bad for
secretly
you.
lumbersexuals?
I don't
Is that what's
know.
going on?
Because we've had these other like sexual like as like a productive compound like since metrosexual like there have been like others. But
Yeah.
I think that this is interesting because like yeah the way it made me feel old. It made me feel old the ways that the women who were coming up to the microphone who were describing the performative male. I was like I don't know him. So like the men in my none of the men
Yeah.
in my life are
I don't
this.
know him either.
Whatever it is, I don't know. I don't know him.
I have this so often when people describe shitty men, I'm like, I don't know these people. You tell me they exist, I will believe you. I've never met them personally, so I don't know what you're talking about really. But when it comes to this, I'm wearing like performative male, like they're all performing. Like the guy in the with the fish is also performing. So this is only
Right.
attached to like what
A
is
certain type.
seen as like catfishing as more socially progressive than you are.
It's a new virtue signaling. That's what it is.
Yeah, or it's like an
Closely
aesthetic,
aligned with the virtue signaling.
like in the idea it is closely aligned with like virtue slash vice signaling.
Only ever applied to lefties.
Yeah, I think that it's that. It's like, but it does come from like a Butler, like a Judith Butler version of performative where it's saying like, oh, it's an aesthetic. Like there's a very specific type of aesthetic
Okay.
that like people are appealing to. But this is me in the moment of also learning about, deeply learning about it because I read Nancy's entry yesterday. So
Ah.
Would you mind reading Nancy's entry? Like, how was it good?
it's good. I could read it. It's like 200 words.
Would she mind? Hi, Nancy.
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, an exciting teaser trailer for the WotY installment. Okay,
Yeah.
she says, if in mid 2025 you spotted a young man clutching a matcha in one hand and a tote bag stuffed with feminist literature in the other, he may have been a performative male. Quote, a man who superficially appeals to progressive or sensitive ideals through aesthetic presentation, end quote. Nominated in the most likely to succeed category, performative male or performative man began appearing in the summer. Its earliest Urban Dictionary entry is from July as a new disparagement for a type that in previous decades might have been mocked as a metrosexual or a poser. The performative male reads Jane Austen and Elizabeth Cady Stanton, listens to Clario, drinks matcha, and prefers analog media, explained a reporter who took part in a San Francisco performative male contest. Many young men cheekily post
Those
videos of
contests.
themselves reading dense books upside down, or carrying 3 or 4 or 5 Labubu's to exaggerate the aesthetic. The New York Times also reported in August. While performative has had a grammatical sense for more than a century, relating to an utterance that affects an action by being spoken, the newer sense of performative stems from the feminist critic Judith Butler, who argued that all gender is
Yeah.
performative. Thanks, Nancy. It's so
Hey,
good.
very
I
good.
think I think I was really glad that the Butler quote was there because I'm looking at a Google image search now of the word performative male, and I think this is overhyped in terms of the hate. They're just wearing cute sweaters and
Right.
reading women authors, and I feel like if we make them scared of doing that, we're fucking up a little bit. Like, it's good for some boys to read Jane Austen. Like, I'd be glad if they did that. That sounds great.
Guys like me have been copying shit for 50 fucking years. I'm just gonna say
I think this is
40. 40 years.
I mean, manipulative people are terrible, but wearing baggy slacks and reading Angela Davis has gotta be okay.
It's got to be cute. Maybe the hate is overestimated. Maybe it's actually a cute
Yes.
thing, not
Yes,
pejorative
I
as
think it's
much.
cute.
It's because there are contests. It's like there were Valley Girl contests in 1982. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that was also bullshit.
Yes, it was, but it was also
Yeah.
partly real. We're commenting. We're commenting on our society, and that's all right. Wow. So that was the WotY. Last thoughts on what happened in the room that night?
I really love it. I love it when people come together. Like it was so neat to have just a handful of folks come and say, you know, I talked to I made this an assignment and here's what my class did this semester with it, or I've been keeping a list all year,
Mhm.
or I have something really specific to say that comes from my decades of field work in South America about this particular term. Like it means a lot to me when like it is like a convivial space where it is absolutely open to all levels of expertise. But I really enjoy it when, people prepare just even a very short statement. And so when those come up, they're really powerful and so fun to witness. So it's nice to be in the room. If we're ever in a city near you, which we will never be in Australia, but if we are ever
No,
in a
maybe
city
not.
near you,
But
please come check us out.
when the United States is a country of laws again, I will be right there, my friend. I'll be there voting. Oh no, but speaking of Australia, there's a new entry. It's coming in with a folding chair. It's the Australian National Dictionary Centre with their word of the year, a late entry. Woohoo! Why is it a late entry? Because it looked like their funding was going to get cut, and an anonymous donor stepped in to save the Australian National Dictionary Centre. They do great work. There has to be more than one Australian English dictionary, folks. Macquarie can't do it all. So theirs was social media ban.
Oh, yeah, very apt for Australia, of course. Australia
Very apt for
has
Australia.
been discussing, and also, is it already implemented?
Yes, it is.
A ban for people under 16, I want to say?
Oh no, see, I should know this because 13 was the
Yeah.
number in my head. I should know this. Can we look that up?
Social media ban in
This
Australia, yeah.
would you please? This was an issue where I feel like maybe there's some things wrong with it, but maybe let it cook? Was it 13 or 16?
16.
Thank you. The argument is that companies like Meta and X and TikTok, etc., have comprehensively failed in their duty to users, and there's no good use case for young people, so they should be banned off the platforms, which may not be true. I'm aware that queer youth are now having a tough time, or maybe not if they're good at evading the ban. But the argument is that they'd be unable to find each other and rely on each other for support, which is an important use case.
At the same time, we're seeing more and more people flee from these public feed type social media platforms and revert into WhatsApp Signal groups. Where,
Yikes.
yeah, so those groups are going to exist and people are going to post memes on those, and we won't know what kind of memes they're sharing.
Because we're not there.
We're not there.
How about instead of trying to ban young people from social meds, What would happen if we instead tried to force those companies to have acceptable and agreed upon standards for trust and safety, which would be a move
We've
that
tried
would
that.
benefit everyone?
We've tried
Oh,
that.
come
I think the
on.
best example of that is probably actually YouTube Kids, where
Mm-hmm.
you have to pass certain bars to be able to post. But I don't know. Do you trust Meta on anything?
No.
Sometimes I
I
forget
don't.
that they exist. I still don't believe Threads is real.
Threads
Like,
is above Twitter in the iPhone App Store now, I think, in
good to
terms of
know.
something, number of downloads or
I
something.
saw I have been guilty of ignoring our Facebook audience, kind of aggressively because I hate Facebook so much.
I've been having so much fun on my Facebook group. If anyone wants to know more about Maps of Oceania, they can join my group Maps of Oceania. All I post is Maps of Oceania and other people post. And there's lots of people there who are from countries in Oceania. And they share like, ooh, I know where that island is. I'm from there. And I'm like, hello, that's
That's
nice.
awesome.
And that's great.
Neat.
It's
Thank you,
very fun.
Kelly, for that look in. And now it's time for Related or Not.
Related or not. Related or not. Related or not. Related or not.
Related or not. Bam, 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 ba, ba-na-na. Okay, this one comes from Hannah, who emailed and said, "Hey, Daniel, here in the Boston area, we just had our first snowstorm of the year." Admittedly, this is kind of an old email. "While shoveling my car out, I wondered, is to shovel related to shove? Or could it be related to shuffle? Or even to shuffle? Thanks for considering, Hannah." Now, astute listeners will know that we have already covered the shove-shovel connection. Does anyone, Hedvig, do you remember? Or Kelly, do you want to take a guess?
I feel so bad when you say stuff like that because I'm such a bad, like, I'm
We've
trying
done
to
a lot
remember
of
what we
shows.
said.
We've done a lot of shows. Don't worry. This is,
Is
what do
shove
you think,
shovel the
Kelly?
same relationship as grab gravel?
No. Grab gravel. Oh.
Shove and shovel are the same relationship as hand and handle. The LE is an instrumental. It's called a
Yeah.
shovel because you shove
Gravel.
it. Sometimes the LE ending is frequentative, which means you do it a lot, like joust and jostle or spark and sparkle. I love the LE ending that's frequentative, but I think this one might be instrumental. Okay, but let's talk about shovel, shuttle, and shuffle. Do you think that any of these are related? Maybe I'll go first. I don't think that any of these are related, but I do think they're all using the productive morpheme LE, either as an instrumental, that's the thing that you do the thing with, or perhaps frequentative. But I don't think that they're related. Okay, your guesses.
I don't
Wait,
think shuttle is
shuffle,
related.
shuttle,
Shuffle
and
and shovel.
I
We
don't
know
think
shovel and
shuttle is
shove, but I'm
related.
interested in shovel, shuttle, and shuffle. No?
I think maybe shuffle and shovel are related, but shuttle is not.
Is that a phonemic thing because of F and V being so
Mm.
similar?
Maybe, but I think shuttle, I think weaving. Like shuttlecock.
I was gonna say, yeah, looms, yeah.
Looms.
Yep.
And so
Yep.
I feel like maybe that
Okay.
comes from a different place because of the shape. Like like a shuttle bus, like the shape of the shuttle bus is like similar to the
Okay, we've got a vote for shovel and shuffle. Hedvig.
I'm gonna vote for all related. They're all about pushing things around.
Okay,
Oh,
that's nice.
all right, they're all about pushing things. Okay, here's the answer. Two of these are related and one isn't.
Okay, then it's shuffle and shuttle.
Interesting. The
right.
correct answer, Kelly wins. The two that are related are shovel
Ew.
and shuffle. So let's see. We've got, of course, shovel is the thing that you shove, And shuffle comes from Middle English shovelen, to move with dragging feet. I'm getting this from, I forget, is it Edam Online or Oxford?
That's cool. Shovlin.
It's a frequentative form of shoven, see shove, and also it's related to scuffle, where people shove each other around in a scuffle,
Oh,
don't
that's
they?
nice.
Yep, but the one that isn't related is shuttle, from Old English scuttle or shuttle, a dart or an arrow. It's probably related to shot, a thing that moves very quickly.
Okay.
Let's go on to one from me. Wiggle, wriggle, and squiggle, all of which describe quick, squirmy lateral motion. Wiggle, wriggle, and squiggle.
Wiggle.
And I will tell you that two of these are related and one is the odd one out. So you've got to pick the two that are related. Wiggle, wriggle, and squiggle. I'm going Hedvig first. What do you think, Hedvig?
Well, Kelly, he's obviously fucking with us.
Yeah.
So.
When have I ever?
All right. Okay. So the problem here is that two of them contain a W.
Right.
They do.
That sort of draws the eye, right?
Arguably, the squiggle contains a W sound.
Because
that's true. The Q is arguably just, yeah, you're right. That's also W. Okay. So let's
It's
just
KW.
count W. All right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Wriggle, squiggle has two consonants in the first onset. Maybe that means something.
Right.
They're all semantically, I don't know,
Very similar.
sure. Right?
Yeah.
Then there's all of these. There's the giggle and there's more of these iggles, right? Like, I think this has got to be the repetitive L thing.
There it is again. Frequentative
Right?
LE. Man.
So I'm going to discount that part. So
Very
now I'm
wise.
down to...
Wig, rig, and squig.
Well, I'm actually
Yeah.
down to ig, rig, and skig.
Okay.
Because I'm testing out W as well.
Sure.
Oh, true.
Well,
I don't know. I'm going
Ig.
to say wriggle and squiggle.
I
Wriggle
feel,
and squiggle.
I
We've got to
feel the
vote for
other
wriggle and
way.
squiggle.
I feel the wiggle and squiggle. Yeah, is that what you said? Wiggle and squiggle are related. I think that wriggle.
Hedvig thinks wriggle and squiggle are related, and you seem to be saying wiggle and squiggle.
Yeah. I don't know
Okay.
why, but wriggle feels slightly semantically different to me, so I'm going with that. I'm leaving that one as the odd one.
I felt like wiggle and squiggle were related as well. And we were right. Good job, Kelly. You're 2 for 2. Oh, man.
I don't think that's ever happened on here. That's
It's very difficult. So let's start with wiggle. Comes from Middle Dutch wiggelen. It's a frequentative of wiegen, to rock or to move back and forth. Related to the word cradle, there was a word wiege, which is a cradle that rocks. Ultimately from Proto-Indo-European root weg, to go or to move. Squiggle, for its part, didn't show up until the 1800s, probably. So this is where accounts differ. Edam Online says probably a blend of squirm and wriggle. Sorry, I'm getting it wrong. Sorry. Oh, I got it wrong.
Oh.
Sorry, I lost it in my notes. Kelly, we blew it. It's Hedvig that got this one. Oh, she got it.
Yes.
Okay, now that I read the darn thing.
Related or
So
not.
Edam Online says probably a blend of squirm and wriggle, but then the OED says it's probably a blend of sniggle and wriggle. To sniggle. And so you say, well, okay, what's sniggle? And I have actually forgotten. Where is sniggle? Well, it's meant a lot of things. It could be to sniggle, to snigger, or to snicker. It could be to fish for eels with your hands. There are lots of meanings that this word has had.
Wow.
But anyway, the one that's all on its own is wiggle. It kind of blows my mind that wiggle and wriggle are not the same. They don't go back to the same word. But wriggle goes back to a different Proto-Indo-European root, which now we have to be a little bit wary because this is all in the reconstruction. And if the reconstruction wasn't good, then, okay, but it comes from where, to turn or to bend, not the one to go or to move, at least in the opinion of Edam Online and OED. So, wriggle and squiggle, related, wiggle is out on its own, not related to the others. There we go. So, congratulations, Hedwig, for that one, and congratulations, Kelly. Thank you, Hannah, for giving us a great related
That
or
was
not.
fun. I love frequentatives. Frequentatives are so
Oh, they're the
fun.
best.
Yeah.
Once you see them, you just can't miss them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go on to one from Flo. Here's Flo's message.
Hi, this is Flo. I'm calling in from Ireland, but I'm originally from California. And I've got a submission for Words of the Week. It is the aboo, ABOO, productive suffix. You may know the word weeaboo, which is somebody who is obsessed with Japanese culture. There's also Koreaboo. I've heard Americaboo. My roommate was obsessed with World War II German military history and jokingly called herself a wereaboo, WEHR. And I've heard people obsessed with English culture to be called teaboos, TEA, like they like to drink tea. But really, anything could be appended to a boo, like saying you've become a Mexicaboo because you like tamales and burritos. So that is my submission for Words of the Week.
Thanks, Flo. Okay.
So
Comments.
Well, I'll just say that a boo seems to be just generally derogatory and like has been for into the depth of time. When we look back at like the aboo thing, because
Is it like
Mhm.
simp?
maybe it is like skimp because it's like it comes from like the same thing like bugbear comes from. So like a bugaboo,
Bugaboo.
Okay.
like famous by Destiny's Child, is also like an ancient construction of like folklore and like myth. Like the bugaboo could be like a goblin or like, and the bugbear is this thing that's like, it's like a mythical creature that's like put together, is like made of bugs, right? It's like a golem that's like there to bother you and be in your way and all this stuff. So like like that, the kind of like the aboo
Okay.
suffix, I feel like is added to things that are like annoying or pesky or so people and behaviors that are undesirable. But I think it's like a lighter form in some cases, or at least today, it's like a lighter form of mocking than it was in the past, right? Like in the past, like the aboo thing was like more hate filled, maybe more pejorative than derogatory.
So it kind of just means a stan, somebody who likes a subculture other than their own that they wouldn't normally pertain to. And you look at that person and you go, all right. They're being maybe somebody who's they're being maybe a bit performative, somebody they're not, but they like a thing, and so okay.
Well, what I don't understand about this and the performative thing is like if people are being bad people or manipulative or insincere, that's bad. But just like liking K-pop, it's not necessarily
Right.
that.
Yeah, like
Is it?
the stan culture.
Yeah, I'm reading your Wiktionary for like other combinations. So I found Slavaboo, which is people who are fascinated by like Gopnik culture and Slavic stuff.
Mhm.
And I don't know.
Fascination is kind of good, I guess.
It
Yeah.
could be. I can definitely see how it can get really weird and exotifying and stuff. But I can also see how it could be someone who just like likes Bridgerton.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it
Maybe.
a way that like
I don't know.
people used to say like buff? Like he's like a history buff or something? Is it similar to that?
Oh, a camera buff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you couldn't be a
Yeah,
camera boo,
maybe.
could you?
I guess
I mean,
not.
because
Camera boo.
cameras are a thing, not a culture, and
It does seem to be attaching to cultures and countries.
yeah, it's like it attaches to cultures, and it also suggests, oh, this person might have kind of porous cultural boundaries in a way that feels inappropriate and weird. Maybe at its worst.
I think it's the Korea and the otaku-boo or Japanaboo is the one where most of the negative feelings are coming from because there is a history of people being like very like exotifying and not actually
Right.
like engaging with the real countries in a way.
They're not
So
good at their
maybe
own
it's like
culture. So.
ophile, like Japanophile. I've heard that.
Yes.
Oh, Yes.
That is mentioned as well. I am sorry to report that the word 4chan does occur in the Wiktionary entry because apparently they had a word filter that replaced the word Japanese, which
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
I can guess what it means.
Yeah.
Anyway, they had a word filter that replaced Japanese with weeaboo on
Which must have
4chan.
popularized it. And that's when we got weeb, right? Weeb
Oh
culture.
yeah.
Weeb shit.
Sorry. I'm sorry to all listeners who know more about this and who are hearing me
Yeah,
waffle
I'm
on about
sure.
things I don't know. I'm very sorry if I say something terrible.
I think we're hitting the things that I prepared for my notes. I think we're hitting the main points here. Sometimes when you're getting a
Yeah.
definition, you got to feel your way around.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about, yeah, how these simple replacements maybe become really effective, if it was something that was, like, filtered out /for.
Oh my God. Do you want to guess what people have nominated for the Francophile version of this word?
Oh, let me guess.
Yeah, guess.
This isn't going to be nice though.
So
Because
British is like tiaboo.
Tiaboo. Well, what's especially a bereaboo? How about that?
Baguette-a-boo?
All right, I'll
Croissant
lead you a
taboo.
different way. The Japanese one was weeaboo.
Freeaboo?
It's just weeaboo, but the word
Oh,
for yes.
yeah,
OUI, aboo.
that's great.
Wish, aboo. Tricky.
That I like that.
Yeah.
Homonyms are always difficult to tease
Weeaboo,
apart.
teaboo.
Okay.
That's nice.
Works in writing.
Works in
It's very
writing.
cute.
Thanks, Flo. That was a great one, and we'll be watching out for that. Finally, one from listener Joanna Kasdan, who says, "Hi, folks. Longtime listener here. Always enjoy your pod. Just wanted to bring your attention to the recent passing, at age 100, of an important person in child language studies. Student of Roger Brown. Oh boy. Taught Roger Brown stuff in introductory classes, I gotta say. Student of Roger Brown, who also happened to be my mom. All the publicity these days, at least here in California, reminding parents to talk and read to little kids to stimulate language, goes back to that group's 1960s research at Harvard. She went on to study many other applications, aspects of primary education, sociolinguistics, and multilingual communities. Worth a little discussion on an upcoming show? Thanks. And she's linked to an article about her mom, linguist, the late Dr. Courtney Kasdan. So I took a little dig into the history. She worked with Roger Brown, who studied 3 children called Adam, Eve, and Sarah, and noticed what landmarks they were hitting. But she was interested in classroom talk, and she wanted to help teachers use language that young students could understand no matter what their background, their ethnic background, their economic background, leveling the playing field. But the part that got me really excited was that she was an advisor on Sesame Street in the early days, back in the 60s.
Oh yeah, right.
And electric companies. Anybody remember the show, The Electric Company, from 1971 through 1979? Morgan Freeman played the role of Easy Reader. Rita Moreno was a cast
Oh my
member.
gosh,
Okay,
wow.
the deck
Very
was
cool.
stacked. It was a great show. There were great cartoons. No, really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, yeah.
The pinball animation.
Yes.
Is it? Okay. This will be significant to people of un certain âge. That's me. Anyway, it was a show that helped kids maybe ages 7 to 11 learning to read. She helped develop the show's curriculum, helping the cast and the writers to hit the right level for kids from all different backgrounds. And there's a lot more. You can read about it on the Harvard website, link in the show notes for this episode. But I just want to say, Joanna, thanks for telling us about your mom, Dr. Courtney Kasdan. We're sorry to hear of her passing, but she sounds like a dead set legend, and language science was lucky to have her.
Yeah.
And what a amazing legacy to have left that has really affected so many people. One can only hope to have done something like that during one's lifetime.
Exactly.
Yep.
It means so much to see someone who is dedicating their career to educating children, like in language study. That's really important.
And somebody from Harvard who's actually a decent person.
Right.
That means a lot these days.
And it looks like she worked on New Zealand, so that's pretty cool. You have like a semi local tie.
Yes, indeed.
Close enough. Yeah.
Close enough.
Close enough.
I know. You're on the complete
All
other
right.
side of the continent, but whatever.
Well, hey, that's it for this show. Kelly Wright, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us. And do you know if you're going to be helping with the words next year?
I'll be there next year in San Francisco. So yeah, and I sent some things for you for the show notes. Our submission link is up. So 2026 is rolling. We've already covered a handful of words that weren't on the list last year. So, submit often, submit all year, keep a list. I will lovingly read them.
Every episode, we're going to be
one.
finding words of the week.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Every single.
It was a wonderful
sure.
list you all prepared, so thank you.
Thank you for coming and hanging out with us. Drop in. I'm serious. Anytime. I don't care when. Hedvig, you're awesome. Thank you for hanging with me. Still here after all these years.
Yeah.
Still here after all these years.
That's great to see.
Thanks to
you both.
Speech Docs, and thank you, you great patrons who keep the show going. If you'd like to help us here on Because Language, there's lots of things that you can do. You already know what they are. Follow us on the socials. We're becauselanguage.com on Blue Sky, Because Lang Pod just about everywhere else. A lot of people are sending us great ideas. You've heard from some of them. And that's easy to do. You can just hit us up on the socials. You can send me an email, hello@becauselanguage.com. Why not get on our website, becauselanguage.com? There's a place where you can press a button and give your voice. We love hearing you. And you can also tell a friend about us or write us a review.
And if you want to support us by becoming a member on Patreon, you get a lot of stuff. You get little mail outs, invites to live shows, and other things. You also just get a warm feeling in your heart for helping us pay for various expenses for our show, including our guests. And I got a new microphone stand recently, which is very practical. Now, I see a list before me here. So every episode, Daniel does something new to the list of Patreon supporters that we read out, and I've been trying to figure out what he has done. Now, I have a theory.
Yes.
Because I can see that Kenny Archer has the very high score of 1.455, and then Stan has a 0 score. My guess is that it has to do with repetition of letters.
Oh, okay.
Is that true?
It is true. Have we done that before?
Yes!
You nailed it.
I don't think so.
You nailed it.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
So what I did was I made a script that... No, I didn't. I used ChatGPT to generate a script. So I'm being very open about that.
Vibe coding.
I vibe coded this. So I got it to notice the most repetitions. So, for example, Kenny Archer repeats the N twice, repeats the A twice, repeats the C twice. That's 2 times 2 times 2 plus whatever else there is, divided by the number of letters, because you shouldn't be at the top of the list just because you have a long name. So Kenny Archer has a score of 1.455. Go ahead. Take it, Hedvig.
And then we have Ferrocat at 1.0091. Kenny Archer and Ferrocat have long names and also love repetitions, so they are at the top of our list with the highest amounts of repetitions. Then we have a group that is somewhere a little bit less. So we have Linguistic Chaos, Sonic Snedgehog, Joanna, Andy from Logophilius, Colleen, and Meredith, who are all between 0.8 and 0.5, above 5. Then we have Molly D, Steele, and Renee. I would have thought these would have scored higher because there's 2 L's and 2 E's and blah, blah, but they're at precisely 0.5. Then we have a lot of people here at above 0.4. Grammarian, Amanita, Larry, Lissa, Lord Mortis, Helen, Isdin, and Kelly is at this point.
That's you, Kelly.
That's you, Kelly. Then we have a bunch of people at exactly 0.333. Now, we've been talking for too long for my math brain to engage about why they're all at exactly that.
They had 6 letters in 1 repetition. That's it. Or a multiple of 6.
Yeah.
But some of them have more than 6 letters. Anyway.
Okay, well,
4
3, 6,
Frenchy,
6, 9, yeah.
Yeah, 4 Frenchie, Mignon, Laura D, Roger, Arya Flame, Aisha, Nikolai, Nasrin, Sydney, and Martha. And then we have a group that's at about 0.2, and that's Wolfdove, Ignacio, a new member, Rosemary, and Christopher.
Thanks, Rosemary.
And then we have a bunch of people at 0 because they have no repetitions at all.
Cool.
We have Zachary, Lucy, Rachel, John Mac, John K, Aldo, Amy, James, Sam, John Troy, Nigel, Andy B, Elias, Tony, Luis, Tim,
Tim.
Amir, Raj, Kathy, Stan, Fiona, Kevin, Diego, Manu, Keith, Chris L, Whitney, and Daniel, Ben, and Hedvig. Now, out of this group, I want to give a special shout out to John Troy because is one of those O's a 0?
They're both zeros, but only letters were counted, and I didn't feel like changing it. So
Okay.
maybe the score could be a little bit
extra
higher
praise
for
to
counting
John
all
Troy
characters.
for sneaking by. I thought one of them was a 0 and one of them was an O, and that's the way
No,
that
no.
happened.
That's just it.
And also Whitney is a very long name without any repetitions.
Good point.
So very nicely done. We have a number of recent additions on our Patreon. You can join us there also at a friend level or listener level. There are free levels as well, where you just sort of follow along and you see posts and can engage with something. So we have at the friend level Sean G and Joanna C. At the listener level, M. Jason, Dave Ann, C. Archivist, and Lee Ho G. And we have a bunch of new free patrons. They are N, Pigfoot, Joe, Anne, Ceci, Lydia, Andrew G, Harley and me, B, Tara P, Hattie B, Ashley M, Anil K, Daryl M, Renee on the Beach, Greg S, Koala, Louisa M, Ma, BRP, Alex R, Hillary B, Tracy D, Michael B, Jamie, Jamie,
It could be
Joe,
Jamie.
Jamie Joe, Jason L, Hans D, Josephine P, Brenda C, and Tony. Why are there so many new free patrons? I don't know. Anyway,
We're so popular. I wish we had 1,000.
I am very glad that they're joining us. Thank you to everyone, all levels.
That's a lot of people. That's so exciting.
Isn't it great?
Yeah.
We get so many great people supporting us. That means a
Yeah.
lot. Thank you, everybody. All right, Kelly, take it away. Close us out.
Our theme music was written and performed by Drew Klaplianov, who also performs with Ryan Benu and Didion Spiegel. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time, because language. Like I've
Thank
listened to
Great
it, but
show.
seeing it written out made it insane for my brain.
It made it weird.
It
Made
did.
it
It made
weird.
it weird.
My memory hack is I was in Japan
Oh.
and I was riding a train. And the train conductor, young guy, was pointing and saying stuff to his controls. Point and say, point and say. And I thought, what's he doing? And it's a technique called pointing and calling, which is intended to help you just avoid lapses, just failing to do something because you were spacing out. It means you're not spacing out. You're pointing to the thing and saying, did that thing. There's somebody on the track. Don't run over that person, and so I've decided to use it. So the thing that I always forget to do is, did I lock the door? I'm sitting in the car. Did I lock the door? Go back and check. Now, I don't do that anymore because I lock the door and I go, pew, you're locked. Pew, you're locked. Boom, locked you. Ba-doop. Sitting in the
That's nice.
car. Did I lock the doors? Yes, I did, because I went pew to all of them, and I remember doing that. And it's a great technique. Do you have a memory hack?
Do I have a memory hack?
If you don't,
Oh,
that's
no.
all right.
No, I don't.
I got to say the
I don't
thing
know
that
if
I
I'm
wanted.
that good at. I've always been the kind of person who only learns something if I'm interested in it, but I also am able to become interested in things that other people don't find interesting. So that's
That's you.
handy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it like too pedestrian to say writing stuff down? I feel that I have really realized that like a physical interaction is very helpful for my memory. So if I
Yeah.
am forced to read something as a PDF that I really want to attend to, I will take notes, like physical notes in a notebook on it. And then if I'm reading
Right.
something for teaching, especially, like I will, or research. I mean, I feel like I read other people's research more often than I read from my own these days. But it does end up being I print it out. I print it out and I make handwritten notes on it. Like, I actually actively highlight
Mhm.
passages that are interesting, and I make annotations in the way that I used to before I started doing everything online, and it has really improved my recall. Um, which
Yeah.
I feel like is yeah, so yeah, maybe I am, but it's performative. I'm analog life. I feel like analog life is my memory hack.